My Line? Brought to you by Sunbeam, the best electric appliances made. The Deluxe Sunbeam Mixmaster Food Mixer and Sunbeam Time. New slimline beauty and new dimensions in time for every room in your home. Now, let's all play What's My Line?
And now let's meet our award-winning panel of What's My Line. First, the popular columnist whose voice of Broadway appears in papers coast to coast, Miss Dorothy Kilgallen.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Week after next, Highland Park, Illinois, is going to be able to see a very, very funny comedy called Who Was That Lady? And the star of it is our guest panelist tonight on my left, Mr. Joey Bishop.
Thank you, Dorothy. And to my left, a young lady who very graciously interrupted her vacation in California to spend the night here on What's My Line, Arlene Francis.
And now I introduce a gentleman with gratitude tonight because he's been taking care of my wandering boy while I've been off in California, Mr. Bennett, Cerf.
And here's our permanent chairman from the great state of Euphoria, Governor John Charles Daly.
I should have known enough to bring a gavel with me tonight, and if I had one, you can guess what I'd belt it onto, too. Bennett's head. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And it's nice to have you again with us on What's My Line. We have an old friend. We think of him now as an old friend because he was such good fun when he was with us last time, Joey Bishop. Nice to have you with us, sir. And now that's the last kind thing I'll say to anybody on the panel for a half an hour. We'll also have a famous mystery guest a little bit later in the show. And we'll meet our first challenger after this one. And now let's meet our first contestant. Will you enter and sign in, please? Right there. Lisa Redfield, is that right? Is it Miss or Mrs. Redfield?
It's Miss.
Miss Redfield. Where are you from, Miss Redfield?
New York.
New York? Oh, well, fine. May I present the panel? Miss Redfield, will you join me over here now, please? Miss Redfield, coming from New York, I dare say you know how we keep score on What's My Line.
I think so.
All right, if you know how we keep score, we need only now to tell the audience here in the theater and those who are watching at home exactly what your line is. Panel, we will tell you that Miss Redfield is salaried and that she deals in services, and we'll call on the chairman of the delegation from Bedlam to begin, Mr. Cerf.
Miss Redfield, the audience was visibly impressed with your occupation. I wonder if you require special training for what you do.
Yes, I do.
Is this training that involves a college career?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. 1 down and 9 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Miss Redfield, would you say that your services were more mental than physical?
Here, high under the sports arena roof, I would say this so that we don't mislead you, that as is true with a great many occupations, certainly a quotient of physical activity is necessary to the performance of the service which is involved, but that the origination of the physical activity has, shall we say, a mental base.
Good heavens. You sound like that gentleman from Mississippi, John.
Thank you, John.
What did he say?
He clarified. Miss Redfield, would you know of any men who are able to do what you do?
Yes, I do.
Would you say that there were more men in the United States doing what you do than women?
There are.
Do you work in the daytime?
Sometimes.
Do you also work at night?
Yes.
Can you work in an ordinary suit or dress, not necessarily in a special costume?
Yes, I can.
Do you work in something other than show business?
No.
2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Bishop.
I'll show you how clever I am. Then you work in show business. And they thought I couldn't play this game. You work, when you work in show business, do you work in it as a performer?
In a manner of speaking, yes.
I am in the nightclub end of it. Would it be other than that end which I am in?
Other than that end in which I am.
Well, if you know so much, John, you sit here, let me sit down. It's tough enough.
I just look silly, Joey. I'm not that silly. I'll stay here.
It's tough enough playing the game without being grammatically correct.
Well, you know what Mr. Churchill said about that?
No.
Oh, Mr. Churchill is the great defender of ending a sentence with a preposition. He was once corrected by an editor, and he wrote beside the edited page, "This is a piece of insolence up with which I will not put."
You've got me so confused, I don't know whether she's male or female, John. Would it be show business more in the outdoor type of performance rather than the indoor type of performance?
No.
That's very good, considering the time you put on it. No. 3 down and 7 to go, Miss Francis.
Do you appear on television other than tonight?
You mean regularly?
At all?
No.
In her work?
That's fine. 4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Miss Redfield, does the work that you do, you say you sometimes appear before the public in the work that you do?
No. The issue, I think, was, are you a performer? And Miss Redfield said in a manner of speaking.
Does the public ever see you actually at work in your showmanship chores?
Yes, they do.
Are they pleased?
They appear to be.
I might say here that if she were to do nothing, they'd be pleased, Bennett, but carry on.
Miss Radfield, do you play, have you ever played in either on-Broadway or off-Broadway theaters?
Yes.
Are you at present in a show either on Broadway or off-Broadway?
Yes, I am.
Is it off-Broadway?
No.
5 down and 5 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
You're a performer in a manner of speaking. Well,
Oh.
You may have 30 seconds for a conference.
okay,
Do
Arlene.
you want a conference?
Yes, I'd love
Maybe
to.
she's an understudy. Would that be possible? No, I guess not.
But she looks like Mary Martin. Maybe she knows.
No, but she could be an understudy because then she could perform when she got a chance.
That's
No,
right.
But you don't need to go on
Well,
that tack.
may I ask this? Do you ever appear in this particular show when the person, where ordinarily, do you ordinarily appear in the show 8 performances a week?
Yes.
And you do something else besides that?
Well, keeps house and that sort of thing, is that?
No, I didn't mean that. I
No.
meant something connected with the play, such as, you know, perhaps a stage manager, assistant stage manager,
No.
understudy.
All right, I'm going to give you 1 more minute. 6 down and 4 to go, Mr. Bishop.
You are seen by the audience. That we've established. But are you seen as yourself by the audience?
Yes, I am.
She's in a Broadway show, as far as I can figure. I mean,
Have we established that it's one that's not on vacation?
And we don't know whether
No, that has
she's
not
doing
been
it.
established at all yet.
She speaks as though she sings.
Find out whether it's a musical or a non-musical.
how come it's my turn and they're all talking, John?
Joey, that was my fault. I'm a bad chairman. I was just thinking of saying who called for a conference here.
I know what she does, and just for spite, I may not say it. Do you sing in this particular show?
No, I don't.
7 down, 3 to go, Arlene.
Do you use any kind of equipment in this show?
Yes.
Something that is used with your performance, that you perform upon or with?
That's right.
Is it a musical instrument?
No.
I'm going to...
Oh, wait, can I have a wild guess?
Yeah, but they're going over anyway.
Are you one?
Are you one? See how these things go,
Well, do you know?
No, you do.
I don't know either. But are you one of the strippers in Gypsy?
And now that I have thrown in the towel for you, and a bit too late, I might add, Miss Redfield conducts the orchestra for the Broadway show The Music Man.
Of course!
Of course! And as I dare say Miss Dorothy will be happy to confirm, you were talking about Miss Redfield...
On the air.
On the air.
I saw her picture in the paper. Knew I had seen her somewhere.
I think so.
I'm sorry. I thought she was the stripper who lit up.
No, actually, Miss Redfield is a concert pianist, a singing coach, but now she is, and a very rare thing in the theater. You all know much more about it than I do. The only one of her sex who is the permanent orchestra conductor in a very successful and wonderful show called The Music Man,
score.
which my daughter likes so much she's seen it 3 times and is going back for the 4th try. That's my daughter.
To see Miss Redfield.
To see Miss Redfield? No, I'm going with her next time. Well, thank you, ma'am. We had a load of fun. I hope you enjoyed your visit to What's My Life. Well, that was good fun, panel, even if you did miss it. Let's see what you can do with the second contestant. Will you enter and sign in, please? Arthur Abramson. Is that right, sir? I think it's only fair to tell the panel that that's as firm and clear a handwriting as we've seen in many, many moons on this program. Where are you from, sir?
Syracuse, New York.
Syracuse, New York. May I present the panel, Mr. Abramson? Can you join me over here, please? You know how we keep score?
Yes, sir.
All right, then we'll let the folks at home and those here in the audience in the theater know exactly what your line is. All right, panel. Mr. Abramson is salaried, and he deals in a product, and we'll begin the general questioning with Dorothy Kilgallen.
Mr. Abramson, is your product useful rather than just decorative?
Yes, it is.
Is it solid?
Yes, it is.
Can it be folded?
Yes, it can.
Would it be found in the home?
Yes.
Would anyone on this panel be likely to have it in the
Possibly.
home?
It's possible. We can't say, you know, with any clear, positive nature that you've got it, but it's certainly possible any one of you might have it.
Then would you say that it was a luxury rather than an absolute necessity of subsistence?
No, I wouldn't say it was a luxury.
Well, with your permission, I would say that under normal circumstances in this country, you would consider that it perhaps would be a luxury for the normal family in its normal mode of life. It has, however, as a basic characteristic, a utilitarian character which could make it under other circumstances extremely necessary.
Isn't that beautiful? Does that mean yes or no, John?
That means both.
That means ask another question and lots of luck. All right. Is this product something I could hold in my 2 hands?
Yes.
Could I hold it in 1 hand?
Yes.
Does it ever make a noise?
No.
1 down and 9 to go, Mr. Bishop.
Could I hold it in my pinky?
No.
You couldn't hold it on your pinky.
It's too large for the pinky and small enough for the entire hand.
Yes, you could hold it using the whole hand most effectively and efficiently. You could hold it. With the pinky, you couldn't hope to. 2 down and 8 to go, Miss Francis.
Doesn't that help you, folks?
Sure it does. Is it larger than our old bread box?
I would think we would have to agree it was larger than a
I
bread
think
box,
so, yeah.
yes.
He must have a pretty big bread box. He was dubious there. Is there any material in this?
Yes, there is.
Is there any wood in this?
No.
Wood?
Wood.
Would that there were wood.
Wood that there
$3
were.
and 7 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Mr. Abramson is a very famous textbook publishing house in Syracuse. I must clear up and find out this. Am I safe to assume you have nothing whatever to do with the book business?
You're right.
You have nothing. Is this product that you are connected with worn?
No,
No.
it's not one.
$4 and 6 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
If I had this particular thing in my house, would it usually be concealed from view when not in use?
When not in use.
When not in use?
Yeah.
Would it be put in a closet or a drawer? You wouldn't have it lying around on the coffee table.
No.
No.
Okay.
It would look a little bit untidy on a coffee table.
Is this object, does it have an identifiable shape?
Yes.
In other words, if I guessed right, you could tell me that it has a certain shape.
Has
Is
a
it
certain shape.
rectangular?
Yes.
In one of its estates, it's rectangular.
Oh. Well, does something happen to it?
Well, it's already been determined it can be folded. Now, any rectangle folded can assume, as you know, another character. Geometrically, that is.
Except a circle.
How true, yes. All right. When it is in use, is it unfolded?
Yes.
Be very inconvenient if it wasn't.
Is this anything that would be used in the bedroom?
Yes.
Would it be used on the bed?
Could be. Yes.
Well, now, wait a minute. Why didn't I stay in Los Angeles? I would say that this would be supererogation at its worst if it were to be used on a bed. Let me put it that way. This does not debar its use in this manner, but it would be frivolous, I would think, in the extreme to do so.
Coals to Newcastle? That sort
Coals
of
to
thing?
Newcastle would be very good in this case, yeah.
All right. May I assume that it would not be placed directly on the floor?
No, you can't assume that. That's $5 and 5 to go, Mr. Bishop.
May I assume it will be placed directly on the floor?
And in show business.
Yes, you can assume that, sir.
I'm trying to figure out what object you could hold in your hand that would be that large, bigger than a bread box, and still be that light, and be used in the house.
Well.
I think Mr. Abramson is a fellow who walked in off the street and is trying to drive us all nuts. What could I ask to get a no?
Ask if may we have another conference?
You may have 30 seconds for a conference.
It may be something like a folding bed or a folding thing that something could get into.
Yes.
You want to ask something like that?
Is this something that if you slept on it, you would prefer something else to sleep on?
Well, I will, with Mr. Abramson's permission, saying, well aware that you've been brought up in the lap of luxury, not the lack of, but the
John,
lap of.
I've also been in the Army, so...
Well, then we'll have to give you a yes to that.
See, I got a yes. Is it something that would help you if you lie down for a nap?
Yes, I think we can say it would help you if you were to lie down for a nap.
Is it in the form of a cot?
A cot?
I got a no.
You cut a no that time. That's right. 6 down and 4 to go. I'm going to give you 1 minute.
But it is a folding bed type thing.
We didn't say so.
Oh, I thought you said it was when he asked if it was a fold in the category of something that you could get into or on. Is it?
We said it was something you could lie down on.
All right. Is it anything a child could use?
Really?
Yes.
It is not a mattress. Is it anything like a crib?
A crib?
Or a toy pen?
Or a toy pen? No.
Or
That's
a
7
hoo-ha?
down and 3 to go, Mr.
Mr.
Cerf.
Abramson, does this have anything whatever to do with sleep? The causing of sleep
Yes.
or wake? Is it, has it any mechanism in it?
No.
Not a
Oh,
cot.
you have been
Not a
just
mattress.
sailing.
Sleeping bag?
Sleeping bag. Right. Joey, did you... Wilson Ranger Industries, and they make sleeping bags. You just get all around the edges and never quite came to it.
Joey got it.
Yes.
But who uses a sleeping bag in the bedroom?
Well, I said that this was something that would be super erogation at its worst. But
Well,
you
that's
could.
putting it on the bed.
You could have a perfectly good bed and put a sleeping bag on top of it if you were that, you know.
Nutty.
But you have
That's
to be
if you're,
you
that's
have
if
to be
you're a
that-
married man.
Arthur, thank you very much. We had a load of fun. I hope you did too. It was nice to have you. We'll meet tonight's mystery guest in just a moment, but first, here is a word from our sponsor. Now we come to the special feature of our program, the appearance of our mystery celebrity, for which my friends on the panel are blindfolded. Blindfolds all in place, panel?
Yes, sir.
Good. Will you come in, mystery challenger, and sign in, please? All right, panel. Thank you. We're a little bit short of time, so I'll have to ask you all to contain your enthusiasm because we want the panel to have a chance. You go to a different form of questioning. You ask one question at a time in turn, moving clockwise, and we'll begin with Joey Bishop.
From your ovation, sir, are you, am I correct in assuming you are either in politics or show business?
Miss Francis?
Well, I didn't hear his answer.
That was yes.
Would it be primarily the picture business?
Yep.
Mr. Cerf?
Are you primarily a star in westerns?
No.
1 down and 9 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
That was a no.
That was a no.
Are you a leading man type? Romantic?
No.
2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Bishop.
The answer was what?
No.
Are you in the comedy field? I didn't hear the answer.
Yep.
Huh?
Yes.
That was yep. Miss Francis?
Are you in a picture that is about to be released here or has just been released? A new picture?
Yep.
Hup.
Yep.
Must be an
Mr.
army
Cerf?
picture. Hup.
Did you ever play a bellboy?
Jerry Lewis. Jerry, I must congratulate you. You certainly did everything that could be done to...
I didn't do nothing but groan.
The
that's
trouble
all.
with you...
I missed Arlene this morning at the airport. She took off about 30 minutes on the very same airline.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Prior to me.
We could have had breakfast together.
Yeah, then
You
you'd
could
have
have
known.
carried my bag because you're a bellboy.
Yeah, it's a movie. It's a movie. Yeah, but I don't understand how you do it, Bennett. I think this whole thing is rigged. I mean, how would he say that? You didn't get a yup. I was going to do the other boys, but I was afraid of Joey.
Your trouble is you're just too popular. Did you hear that commotion out there when you came in?
Yeah, I think I'm going to run against Simonton.
Don't forget, Jerry, I watched you making that picture at the Fontainebleau.
Yeah, I
In
know.
fact, I can never get into the lobby on account of you.
Well, actually, I think it must go into the record that this is a unique picture for Jerry, particularly in his career, because you produced it, wrote it, acted in it. Did you write it, too?
I directed it, too.
And directed it?
You'll see it on the screen. You'll understand all of those things.
Jerry, may I thank you very much for being our guest on What's My Line?
Thank you,
I'm sorry
John.
we didn't stick
It's
'em a
all
little
right,
bit
but
harder.
sometimes, you know, mattresses and Abramson, they go together and they take some time. But thank you very much,
Thank
John.
you,
It was
Puff.
my
Nice
pleasure.
to have you with us. And we'll be back after this word from our alternate sponsor. And now, until next week, this is John Daly saying good night, Dorothy Kilgallen.
Good night, John. Good night, Joey.
Good night, Dorothy. Good night, Arlene.
Good night, Joey. Good night, Beverly Hills. Good night, Bennett.
What's that $10 sign on for, John? Good night.
Because you've got some no answers, old boy. Why do you think it's out there? Joey, I want to say you're a very nice guy to be on a show with.
Thank you. And I'm proud to be on a show that only gives Jerry Lewis $10.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being with us on What's My Line?
What's My Line is a CBS television network production in association with Mark Goodson and Bill Todman. Al Sims speaking.